Hey, it's Glory with Disney Adventure Hub, and I'm tired of sitting, so I need to get out and do a walk, which is perfect because, as you know, I've been dealing with some issues in the left hip that have prevented me from walking, and it seems to be doing so much better, like I've mentioned before. But I've been working on scripting and editing a video for the channel that is taking a lot of time. So I am really quite happy to be pausing for a moment so I can get out and get a walk. Now we are in week 6 of my physical therapy, and we're also 6 weeks out from the big trip. So halfway there, and I am very happy with my progress. We have moved from working just in the hip area to also now working in the low back, the SI joint area, which is typically where my problems are. So when I do a lot of walking, my hips are kind of hypermobile. So because there's too much movement there, it causes some problems with the muscles. So what we did this week is we did something called cupping. Are you familiar with cupping? Well, I was not. I'd only seen it and it looked gross. What it is, maybe did I mention this? I don't remember. If I mentioned it, skip ahead. But it actually pulls the skin up to allow more blood flow and circulation. So you can use, I think they're like heated glass cups, which is not what we used. We used an electric one that vacuumed the skin up, and we left it on there for a couple minutes and in multiple places. Yes, it did leave bruises, but I am used to bruises. I do aerial silks, and so, bug in the eye. I'm used to bruises in all the places, so not a problem. And it definitely did help. And we started some other work on mid-back mobility. So doing some side lying and opening and closing to work on kind of the tightness in my back, not just the hips. So we're kind of progressing up the line. But what we did this week, we were working on some other low back mobility, is it caused some stability issues with that SI joint. So when I went to my yoga class yesterday, it was not having it. Grumpy SI joints, which is more what I'm used to than the whole hip issue that I've had. So yesterday afternoon, during the physical therapy, we did some nerve glides, and she got her elbow down in the muscles, and it was a good time, let me tell you. But hopefully that'll start feeling better, and as we work on more general mobility and muscles up and down the spine and the back, not just on that hip, everything will relax and strengthen and get aligned the way it's supposed to. So that's still the plan. I'm still optimistic that walking Disney for 6 days will be fine without a wheelchair. Let's hope. I have not, we did Disney World last year, and it was probably about that many days, but we had kind of a couple days in between that we weren't in the parks, so we'll see how it goes. But 6 weeks away still, so there's plenty of time in my mind to get ready, and walking is part of that. So we're trying to introduce more walking into the week, as well as standing, because that's a big part of Disney, and a little bit of sitting. I don't just stand all day, of course. even though I do stand for work. I have a standing desk. That is definitely helpful in preparing for being upright all the time. Ooh. So we're just having a walk. Hopefully, as you're watching this, maybe you're doing some things for your physical health as well, or maybe looking into what you can do, checking out physical therapists, maybe see what classes are available. But you really want to make sure that your body feels good when you go to a place, that your emotions feel good, because your body is going to win out. If your body starts hurting, doesn't matter if you're in the happiest place on earth, you're not going to feel the happiest of all the things. So make sure you're doing good stuff for your body. And if you have a physical therapist, or if you have exercises at home, feel free to do them while we're chatting. Chat and walk, work and walk. I don't know, something like that. You work, I'll walk, and it'll all work out. So, I think next week I'm moving to one appointment per week, because I only get 20 with my insurance, unless they approve more, which is possible. But I want to make sure I have a couple visits left for when I come back, because it's entirely possible I will be a hot mess. So we want to make sure we can get in some good work. But I've got lots of tricks and tools and stretches and things that I'm working on now that I can continue if I need to. So I've got my walking timer on. It measures steps, distance, it measures calories too. I'm not sure, that must just be an estimate, because it's not connected to me in any way. And then it measures time. So hopefully I'll get in some good walking before I feel like I need to get back and keep working on that video. I'm really excited to get that series released for you. It is on Disneyfying your Alexa device. So adding Disney photos from your trips to the photo frame, being able to pull up Disney movie soundtracks through your streaming service, and pulling up Disney ambiance videos on Disney Plus if you have a subscription there. There's some really cool stuff that most people don't even know about. And then using the Hey Disney skill on Alexa, which is the same one that they have in the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. They don't have them in the Disneyland hotels, which is very sad. I don't know why they don't do that. But we discovered it when we were there last year, and I bought an Alexa device on Black Friday on sale, and got the Hey Disney skill, and have been having fun with it ever since. So that series is on how to Disneyfy your Alexa device when you're at home and you need some Disney magic when you can't be in the parks. So I'm gonna keep walking on my walk, and I'll be back to talk at you later. I love finding little pieces of Disney outside of Disney parks. This makes me happy. Well, I thought it was going to be a short walk, but I decided I wanted to go longer. It's only been half an hour and less than a mile and a half. So I stopped back home, picked up glasses so I could see things, and got some water, and back out again. So off we go. I guess the video editing will just have to wait. Speaking of water, I was listening to Andrew Huberman. Are you familiar with him? Really, really great science-based podcasts on YouTube and elsewhere. A couple hours long, really detailed. And I was looking for information on staying hydrated. You know, when we are out walking Disney and it's hot outside, like how much water should we be consuming to avoid heat exhaustion and other negative things? And he said that when you're doing exercise, especially when you get hot, or maybe even during the sauna, I can't remember if he said that, but you should be consuming your weight divided by 30, I think, and that is how many ounces you should drink every 15 to 20 minutes when you're sweating, and more if you're sweating a lot, less, of course, if you're sweating less. That's crazy. How many people actually realize that they drink enough water and they're hot? No wonder we don't feel good when it's hot at the parks and we just need to sit down. Most likely it's because we're not drinking enough water, or at least a contributing factor. So something to keep in mind. So it's not particularly hot right now. There's a nice breeze and fall is coming in, but I'm gonna have a drink. Oh, feels good to sit down. I only did about 2 1/3 miles, about 50 minutes. Pretty good, but we do have to remember we don't walk the whole time we're in Disney. We walk for a bit and then we stand for a long time, or we sit and then we walk some more. So we don't have to do huge long chunks at one time. We can walk for a while and then sit for a while and then walk for a while and stand for a while. So if you're intimidated by the amount of walking, you don't have to walk all that far at one time, depending on where you're going in the parks. But even then, there's benches and places to sit and rest. So unless you're in a hurry, there are timeouts and breaks to be had. Oh, yay, the leaves are falling. That's very exciting. Summer hasn't been as bad this summer as some other years, but still, I'm just over it. I'm glad that I live in a place that has seasons, so I get to experience all the differences, but I certainly get tired of them by the end, especially summer and winter. We don't really get particularly long springs and falls as in the same temperature for a long time. So anyway, I'm just gonna take a little sitting break before I head back. Listening to kids play, which, just like Disneyland, right? All right, well, thanks for joining me on today's walking adventure and physical preparation for a Disney trip. I'm hoping to be back on tomorrow, maybe with some more walking. Well, hello. I actually am getting in a little walk today as well. Well, not as well, it's the first one, but it's the next day. And forgot to tell you that yesterday, before I went on the walk, I actually went to the farmer's market and I stood in line for 45 minutes for a donut. So 2 very good Disney practice moments with that, standing in line and getting a treat. So today we're just working on walking a little bit. Hi there. Hi. And keeping the movement going and making sure that we can build up some endurance for all the movement and my hips with the walking. This morning I did test my leg length. That tends to be thrown off by a misalignment in my pelvis, and it was off. So I did my little realignment, oops, get my hand out of there, realignment maneuvers, and did some new stuff that they are having me work on with mobility in the low back. You kind of lay on your belly and press up like a seal, a little bit like a yoga move, but not quite. And did a few sets of those. My next appointment this week isn't until Wednesday. Not till Wednesday. Today's Sunday. So I got a few days until then, and we'll see what they feel like doing. Things seem to change every time I go. But this is the week that I'm moving to 1 visit per week. So we'll have to see next week if that is sufficient. Hopefully it will be so. Alrighty, well, keep walking, and maybe you're walking too. Walking and talking. That's what we do. Man, this path is not very shady. Ooh, I guess also good practice for Disney. Alright, I'll catch you later. Hey look, I found this nice little park, sports park, grassy area. About 3/4 of a mile down, and I'm gonna sit and do some grounding for a minute. You're familiar with grounding? Getting in contact with the Earth's surface so you can benefit from the, electron exchange. I guess I should look into the details of it again before I start talking about it. But it's really good for your health, for reducing inflammation. Because we tend to, now that we aren't in contact with the Earth's surface much anymore at all, we get overly charged. Is it positively? I don't remember. And this allows us to equalize kind of our voltage, if you will. So scientifically that may not be accurate. Don't hold me to that, but it's a good thing. So doing a little bit of grounding right now in the shade, which is a nice break from the very sunny trail. Luckily it's not super hot, but it is still hot. And then I'm gonna head back, go get some other things done today. But I realized I haven't shown you my physical therapy exercises recently, or shown you them in person or through the app. So I will maybe do that this week, show you the new ones that we've added. Although I don't know if they've added all of them to the online program that we've been doing in the office. But it's pretty interesting. But I'm feeling generally better week by week. So I think that'll do it for week 6 of HIP PT and 6 weeks before the big trip. I hope things are going well with you, prepping for your next trip, or just making sure your physical health is in line for everything that you do at home. If you haven't liked the video or subscribed, I would love for you to do that. And I will see you in the next one. Check the Ready to Walk Disneyland playlist for other episodes, or choose an in-park or at-home adventure.